Today, I wanted to share with you why I left eXp Realty, what were the reasons behind it, and give you my update of where I am right now. So I did leave eXp Realty a couple months ago, but just as a disclaimer, I wanted to mention that I have absolutely nothing bad to say about eXp Realty. I still think it's a great company. It has grown tremendously over the last couple of years. I know they have locations now all over the world, but I needed to make a business decision for myself and decide whether or not it's viable for me to stay with eXp Realty. So I wanted to sit down and jot down a couple of ideas of what is it that is not fitting in my business plan, what is it that I'm looking for, especially towards the new year, which is now starting. I made the switch just a couple of months ago. And I was preparing my business plan to find brokerage that would fit my specific business needs. So nothing personal towards EXP. It was not a decision driven by any bad experiences. It was a decision driven by my own preferences and things that I need to fit into my business plan. So these are the things that I wanted to incorporate into my future next couple of years. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to switch brokerage is because I wanted to stay local. EXP is an international company. It doesn't have any locale that is local. Yes, of course, they have offices that are just kind of like an address that you put on your contract, but there isn't really like a local base for EXP, unless maybe you are with the team and you guys have your own office. But I wanted to really focus so much on enhancing my local exposure, targeting my local market. You might know also that I do videos about Charlotte, local areas, local neighborhoods, local spotlights, communities. And it really was just not feasible for me to represent a brokerage that is so global and international. What made sense to me was to be represented by a small boutique brokerage that is not a franchise, that is focused on my local market. And I found such brokerage that has 3 locations within proximity of where I live, has a physical office 5 minutes away from where I live, and a BIC that has office hours that I can go to, sit down and ask face-to-face questions. Now, I have nothing against being an avatar in the world of EXP, and I think it's a great innovation. But I think at some point you do miss the human interaction where you can see that person's face. You can't have really like even a Zoom interaction in EXP. It's all via an avatar, so you don't even see that person's face unless you request a specific personal Zoom meeting with that person. So there's nothing wrong with that. The avatars are quite fun and exciting, but I really wanted to be able to get into my car and drive just a couple minutes to sit down and talk to my broker in charge face to face. I was really missing that interaction. I think a lot of people are missing it now that we have been coming out of this pandemic. So with this transition, I have the local office that I can go to and meet with my clients. If I'm out and about, I can stop over there, make some phone calls, use their conference room. There is a physical office that I could utilize. It's not an office that you can actually have a desk and work there the whole day. But there's areas for you to make phone calls, sit down and maybe use a printer and do whatever you need to do in office related. But I love the fact that the office is there and I can go there anytime I want. And we do also have live in-person meetings in the office, as well as various trainings on Zoom. So the people that you see face to face on Zoom, you get to also see them face to face in person in one of the three locations of my brokerage. Also, in terms of eXp, I was really not interested in their stock options. I know this is a great idea for some people, but for me at this point, I was just not interested in that aspect of the business. I was more interested in earning 100% commission, which my brokerage offers to me. And for my current business plan, things might change later, but for my current business plan, I feel like this is something that's fitting a little bit more. So after a little while of being in a business, I know I made some videos that eXp is great for new agents. I still, in some way, agree with that, but only under a certain circumstance or under certain conditions. I don't think that graduating from school, getting your license, and entering eXp all by yourself is a good idea. There are certain things that should happen before anybody does this, because you can feel a little bit alienated and lost all by yourself while you're starting to build a business. Because I think a lot of people forget that when you start to become a real estate agent, you're not really working a job, you really are a CEO of your business. So I think you might want to consider, if you are thinking about still joining eXp, consider getting a mentor, but not just the mentor that eXp offers you, which is kind of like a person that's following your transactions, but just getting like a long-term mentor from the community, from the industry that you're in, from your local market. Somebody that you have an arrangement with, somebody that you have an agreement with, that can really help you start in the transaction part of the business for at least 1 year. So I never joined a team. I didn't really see that as a viable option for me, because when you join a team, you do have to chop off a significant amount of your commission to the agent that is going to be supporting you. And so that's a decision for you to make. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't also want to promote another team's image and branding. I wanted to immediately start focusing on my branding. Mind you, when you do join a team, you will be kind of branding that team, not yourself. So that's your own personal decision. It's not something that I wanted to do. My advice for you, if you have just gotten your license and you're starting to build your business, my advice for you is not to join a team, but get a mentor. That is if you are really focused on building your business and your own branding, your own name, and in your business plan, you have that in the future, that this is something that you're going to be growing. And that mentor next to you can support you in orientating yourself what to do when you get a client, when you get a buyer, when you get a seller, and all the things that are basic for starting out that they don't teach you in school. But if you do not really wish to have your own business and your own branding and your own marketing, you really do not want to invest your time into that. You just kind of want to cruise along for the first couple of years, then maybe joining a team and giving them 35 to 40% of your commission is something that you'd like. Mind you, you still have to give 20% of your commission to eXp if you are joining eXp. So you are really chopping off a lot of your commission to the team, to the brokerage in the first year. I know they have tiers, and when you make a certain amount of commission, then the numbers get lowered. So this is something you really have to sit down with a good business plan and a calculator and find out whether or not this is something that you'd want to do. I really don't want to tell you what to do. It's your own decision. I'm just sharing my own experience that I have never done that. And really the viable reason why I left eXp Realty and what works for me, what didn't. Everything actually, when you're first starting out in this industry, is all about trying things for yourself and finding out what works for you, what doesn't. So I hope that was helpful to you. And now you know why I left eXp Realty. I'm still going to keep the videos on my channel in case anybody needs any help with eXp. Like I said in the beginning of my video, I do still think eXp is a great company. I have nothing bad to say about them. They have treated me really well. But life goes on. I move on. I make my personal decisions, and I wanted to share this one with you. If you have any questions about starting out and you need my recommendation for anything in terms of reading or resources, either check out my channel, some of great resources I posted there, or shoot me a quick email and I'll be sure to answer it. Thank you so much for watching and for listening, and stay tuned for future content.